guys, it's Ahmer here. So today I have another pickups video where I actually went to this really awesome vintage toy and video game store. This is called Yesterday's Fun Vintage Toys and Games. It's located in Delaware. So this place, I scored some amazing items, and I even added another Super Nintendo game into my set of trying to go for a full Super Nintendo collection. So let's go ahead and see what I scored. So this place I love going to. They have such a huge variety, and they do have 2 different locations in Delaware. So this place is in Bethany Beach, Delaware. I'll go ahead and drop all of the information below so that you can check it out if you're ever in the area, and I definitely recommend stopping here. There's actually quite a few things that I picked up in some other videos that I'm going to do, and that insane Mario statue that you saw in a previous video. I actually scored that there. So this is everything else that I scored as well. So I went in there knowing that I'm on this journey of trying to grow my Super Nintendo collection, trying to go out there and find physical games out in the wild, and hopefully find some amazing deals along the way. So right away I saw in their video game section they had this Super Nintendo game. This one right here is an awesome game. This is called Rock and Roll Racing. And this actually did something very unique for the Super Nintendo system. So of course you could have got this on the Sega Genesis as well, and they did have some other variations of this game, but it just did not sound the same. So like the title actually says, Rock and Roll Racing, this actually has a bunch of rock songs included as the soundtrack. So this is actually a really cool racing style game, and I just love the soundtrack as it features some classic rock artists. So this is definitely pretty sweet. I'll go ahead and kind of show off the entire list of the music here as we can't really play it, but this is so cool to pick up this game. I've heard amazing things about this. This is a racing game. It's also one of those combat style games where you could just blow things up, and it's really neat because you can race against 3 other people while you're actually racing against the computer, or you can have a friend and you guys can race against 2 other of the computer characters. So this is just a spectacular game. It's really a lot of fun. The handling, the controls, and everything else are really awesome. Just a bright and vibrant and colorful game with the soundtrack that really sets it aside, as nothing else was done like this around this time. So this is really an awesome score. This game runs for over $50 or so. So this is definitely an amazing score right here to add into my Super Nintendo set, trying to grow the collection, trying to get over the amount of games that I need for this. I'm really trying to get to closer to the halfway mark and just try and hit a milestone. So this right here, Rock and Roll Racing, I highly recommend this, and I'm so glad that I found it here, along with tons of other items. So this right here, I have been on a mask kick. Now, I've been going for the animated series and even like the movie version with Jim Carrey, all of those wacky antics. These characters are just so vibrant, they're so cool, they're so wacky looking with this mask. Of course, we have Milo, we have the sidekick right here in this little window of this box. This right here is Mask Eye Poppin' Street Machine. So this is a vehicle. Just love the colors of this. It'll go great with my Mask Super Nintendo game that I picked up that is really awesome. And then that really cool Mask doll that I scored in another toy store. So this is one of the Mask items that they actually had there. Scored it for another great deal. It says Somebody Stop Me. It says The Mask, the animated series. And then of course it just shows this vibrant looking, wacky style little vehicle right here. So this is actually really cool. It even shows collect all the Mask toys and really be smoking. Mask figures sold separately. So this one is pretty sweet as well. So definitely scored some really awesome items there. And then they had some figures. So this right here is for my Rugrats collection. This would have been a Burger King toy back in the day. It looks like in 2000. They had this whole treetop style where you could have gotten all of these different characters. I believe that I only have Angelica, so now I have the dog. Of course, we have to have Spike here. And then, of course, you just connect all of them, and they really grow pretty tall. So this is definitely pretty cool to see this. And then up next, we scored another Burger King toy. This one's from 1990. This is a Sega-related one. So, of course, we have this Kid Vid. We have this little, looks like a car from a little controller here. We have this kid that just sits right in here. So this is definitely pretty sweet as well to add some more of this Sega stuff in the collection. Add some more of these little Burger King, some Happy Meal toys. Just trying to mix it up here. And then this one right here I thought was so cool. This is from 1989, Nintendo of America. This is the Under 3 toy for the McDonald's toys that released with the Super Mario Bros. 3, that amazing display. Trying to collect all of the toys from back in the day. I have a full set now. This one is one of the more difficult ones to find, as most of the time you would mostly get the cooler toys. You wouldn't really get this generic one, but this one is still awesome as well. So I'm definitely thrilled to add this one to the collection and go ahead and complete that. And then they even had another Rugrats toy. We have Tommy right here. This one even said 2003. So of course it's Tommy with the Easter basket and he is dressed up. So this one is definitely a neat little toy as well. Not too sure where that one came from. And then of course this one, Cartoon Network, we had to add some Powerpuff Girls. We have Mojo Jojo. So this is the evil villain, and this is definitely pretty sweet as well. Doesn't really say a time frame on here, it just says that it was made in China. So this one we have this little figurine, so this is definitely pretty sweet as well. So I love going to the store anytime that I stop by in the area. They do have a couple locations, but this one is much larger than their Rehoboth Beach one, but each one is packed with different items. So as you first walk in, you see a huge counter, and then of course you just see walls and rows of everything else, different toy lines, and they like to kind of divide it up between each store so that you don't see the same repetitive stuff at each particular one. But right away in that window, when I was walking up to Yesterday's Fun, Vintage Toys and Games, I saw that big Mario statue. So I'm so thankful that that actually came home with me. So make sure you guys check out that video if you have not already. And then, of course, everything else that I saw. There were tons of video games up on the wall, even in the counter. They had a full section of G.I. Joe. They had tons of video game characters. I saw this really cool Sonic the Hedgehog little statue. They have tons of that stuff, which is really hot right now with the movie release and everything else. Then I love seeing those older style Mario figures, the toys that they had back in the day, and the case that has some more of the more expensive and kind of harder to find video games. I really like how things are divided in the store. And then of course, as you work your way around, you see tons of Funko Pops. They had just so many different ones and some good quality ones if you are a Funko Pop collector. And then not just Power Rangers, I saw tons of other vintage toy lines. They had a whole section of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in one of the showcases. They even had a whole Masters of the Universe. And then of course they have some board games. They had an entire area for that. Wasn't really where I was searching at. Then they had a whole Star Wars section, which was really neat to see a lot of those Star Wars characters and a lot of the different figures and the different toy lines that they had over the years. They even had some newer stuff. They had just a mix of everything. And then I really like seeing some Goosebumps stuff, Captain Planet, more Power Ranger statues. They had a full little kid section as well. So they had different ages in the store. They had a whole kind of doll and Barbie area. And then even in the front, they had more Batman and superheroes as well. Some Marvel as well, along with the DC So that was definitely pretty cool to see, and I love going into the store any chance that I get, and I definitely had a blast picking up that Mario statue, and then of course adding all of this stuff, going for the mask here, adding some odds and ends, Sega, Nintendo, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and then even the Super Nintendo game. So of course, let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about this. What would you have actually picked up? Did you see anything that I missed while I was there? And of course, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go ahead and check out my other videos and stay tuned for more.